I'm Courtney Ingham, and I am a Western tropical astrologer. I offer weekly astrology reports every Monday featuring the planetary and lunar energies for the week ahead. All times mentioned are in Eastern Standard Time. Becoming a subscriber is free, and all subscribers get additional free content. Becoming a paid subscriber is only $5 a month and helps to support this podcast. Paid subscribers receive discounts off of my readings and other offerings. Enjoy the show. Hello, Astro friends. This is your forecast for Monday, September the 25th through Sunday, October 1st. And yes, we are entering October at the end of this week. We have whipped through yet another month in no time at all. And October will be quite a busy month, astrologically speaking, as we do have two eclipses happening, one on the 14th of October, one on the 28th. I'll have all those details as we get closer. We have Pluto stationing direct on October the 10th. We have several planetary ingresses, including Mercury entering the sign of Libra on the 4th of October, Venus entering the sign of Virgo on the 8th, Mars entering the sign of Scorpio on the 12th. Then we have Mercury, who will whip right through Libra, enter Scorpio on the 22nd of October. And finally, on the 23rd of October, we have the Sun entering Scorpio, marking Scorpio season. As Mercury is rushing through the signs now that it's gained momentum after its retrograde phase, it is going to be making plenty of aspects throughout October, and I will be bringing all of those details to you in the weekly reports. We really have a more quiet week. We do have the full moon in Aries happening on Friday. However, as far as aspects go, it is really a quiet week. We do have a long moon void of course phase happening on Tuesday that I'll talk about. This is a week to put our feet up, and I'll talk more about that now, starting with the lunar report. We'll be starting off the week with the moon in Aquarius. This is a very creative and innovative sign. It's where we can show our unique, one-of-a-kind sides. And Aquarius actually rules the calves. So every once in a while, I like to remind everybody of the medical astrology associations with these signs so that we can remember to take care of the body part associated with the moon's movement in whatever sign that it's in. We are in a waxing moon phase up till Friday when we have the full moon. And this is a time of growth and development. This is a good time to ourselves be growing, learning, taking things in, but definitely feeling like this week is quiet and less about doing. On Tuesday, we have the moon moving into the sign of Pisces, and at the same time, we have an 11-hour and 40-minute moon void, of course. This is when the moon will not be making any aspects to planets. It's a very unusual time for the moon, as the moon tends to move quickly and make many aspects. Because the moon is not making any aspects, then we also want to follow the moon's lead, and we want to lay low, maybe plan to have a more contemplative day, do some meditation, and the Pisces moon is going to add to that flavor. This is a sensitive moon sign. This is where we may feel very intuitive, very dreamy. We can also feel confused, and it's definitely not an ambitious moon sign. We're going to feel less likely to want to go out and make things happen. And there can be a lot of dream activation, so make sure you have your journal next to your bed so you can record your dreams. Moon in Pisces is a great time to take care of your feet. Pisces rules over the feet, so it's a great energy to just put your feet up and relax, maybe get in the bathtub, maybe do some special pampering to your feet. And following the moon being in Aquarius, where we're taking care of our calves, it's really feeling like a week to just put your feet up and relax. We do have the moon moving into the sign of Aries on Thursday prior to the full moon in Aries happening on Friday. And this can oftentimes have a more ambitious or courageous energy. However, we actually don't have any at all, big planetary aspects happening on Wednesday or Thursday to really support big things happening. It's really just this lunar energy in Aries. And what I would say is that what this sets us up for is the big release, let go energy of the full moon happening the following day on Friday. So it's definitely having us focus our energy on less about doing things and more about what it is that we're ready to let go of. We want to remember that in Aries right now, we actually do have the North Node. The North Node is asking us to speak up for ourselves. It's asking us to consider where we need to let go of, ways of being that have put ourselves second to others. Of course, the South Node is in Libra, and that's where we're emptying out. We're leaving behind patterns and ways of being that aren't serving us, are not serving the self, Aries. So at this time, it might be a great use of the release, letting go energy of the full moon to focus our energies on new behaviors, new patterns that really honor our sovereignty, really honor what it is we want to create for ourselves, what it is that we want to go after, and maybe goals that we're setting at this time as well. Aries rules the head. It's where we have to be careful about being too headstrong. However, due to this North Node in Aries, it's asking us to put more emphasis on what it is that we want, what it is that we desire at this time. We have on Saturday the moon moving into Taurus, and this is where we may want to indulge the senses. We may want to relax. There's a lot of relax, let go energy in the chart for this week, as you can see. In that Taurus energy, we can really find security in stability. So this is going to be a big theme this week, and you'll see that more as I get into the planetary aspects that are happening. It's where we can resist change as well, but perhaps we can learn in this energy to be more resilient, to be okay with change, and to position ourselves in ways so that we're more stable and we can deal with and cope with change. Now, Taurus rules the throat. So when we have the moon in Taurus, we always want to ask ourselves, what needs to be said? What have you maybe been holding back? What do you need to share? How do you need to express yourself? And that's the big lunar energy for the week. I'll move now into the planetary aspects. So we're going to start the week on Monday with Mercury in the sign of Virgo trining Jupiter, who is retrograde in Taurus. This is really blessed energy that can be considered good fortune. It could be a good time to organize your finances. That Taurus energy is really big about finances. And then again, we also have Mercury in Virgo, which is all about organizing. And it may be that if we do organize, we do get some things straightened out that we need to, that we might discover something that we didn't know was there, we didn't know we had, and it can be considered a blessing we didn't really know was coming to us. So it's also a great energy for negotiations. Mercury being all about communication and negotiating, and Jupiter just really lighting that up for us. So if you have any big business deals that would require smooth communication, this makes for a beneficial time, a beneficial week to consider discussing these things, making deals, potentially securing loans or grants, things like this, because we do have Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, which rules over financial situations. On Friday, we have the full moon, which is happening in Aries. And during this time, Venus will square Uranus, who is retrograde in Taurus, exact. And this is an energy of sudden change. This is also an energy where our self-values, Venus and Leo, may be in conflict or at odds with the values of the community or society. That might be something that's brought up in this energy. And the sudden change could really come in the financial arena, as we do have Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And we have this aspect happening with Venus, who happens to be the ruler of Taurus. So it would be really a good idea to expect for there to be potential tension financially and maybe unforeseen events that we might want to be prepared for. It definitely is energy that may drive us to find this kind of stability. And it could potentially be stability that arises out of ourselves, because we do have Venus in Leo, which is focusing us much more on our own self-awareness, self-expression, and calling us just to find this own personal stability. Now on Saturday, we have Mercury in the sign of Virgo, trining with Uranus that is retrograde in Taurus. So we're getting a lot of energy this week from Mercury for sure, and Uranus is also playing its role. Here we have the higher and lower octaves working together, Uranus being the higher octave of Mercury. It feels a lot like whatever could have gone on with Venus squaring Uranus. We now have Mercury coming through and picking up the debris. It's sort of sorting out this whole situation for us, making it personally relevant, as Mercury is bringing this down to the personal level. As we sort through this and make sense of things, these two planets are working harmoniously together with this trine. And we could probably see that maybe an unexpected resolution comes through after this occurrence. And it might be something that we never thought about, a way of seeing it that we maybe didn't really perceive previously. So we can really expect some big breakthroughs with this kind of a aspect happening. We can really expect to have some new information, new downloads come through. And I think it will be really relevant to sort of putting the pieces back into place, to creating that stability that this week's chart is really requiring us to create at this time. And it would be stability that comes out of contemplation. We have the moon in Pisces, relaxation and just taking things in. We have the moon move into Taurus this week. It's not a big action-oriented chart for sure. It's definitely more about creating inner harmony, creating an understanding, creating maybe more balance. And that's the big energies for this week. I will be back on with my video about the full moon in Aries very soon. So I do have an event happening in October that I would like to invite you all to. I will be participating in the Moonlight Market on Friday, October 13th. This is happening in the evening starting at 5 p.m. at Lincoln Park, and there'll be a host of really wonderful vendors sharing their goods, and I will be there tabling, offering mini astrology read. So if you're interested in taking a peek at your astrological energy with me, go ahead and shoot me an email at courtneybuk@gmail.com and sign up. I'll be doing 20-minute reads for $30, and I think you'd be very impressed to see just how much I can cover in a mere 20 minutes. It'll get your feet wet, it'll give you a taste of your natal chart energies, and you can decide where you want to go from there. So yes, again, to sign up, go ahead and email me, courtneybuk@gmail.com. As another reminder, I do have my Chiron class coming up October 3rd. If you're interested in learning more about your natal Chiron and how to read that, how to understand what your Chiron is saying about your wound, what your healing journey is about, I invite you to join me. I'll be doing a Zoom presentation for you on the energies and archetype of Chiron, the wounded healer. I'll be doing several chart examples so that you can really start to apply what you learn and understand Chiron, and also use what you learn to apply it to your own natal chart. I also am going to open a Telegram group, a private Telegram group for anyone in the class who wants to join and continue to workshop their Chiron energies together. You can find out more about this by emailing me at courtneybuk@gmail.com. I am offering discounts to anyone who has paid for a full natal chart reading with me. So if you're interested in joining me and exploring your Chiron energies, please just get in touch with me. And I will be back next week on Monday with the weekly overview, as I always am. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast. And if you have any comments you'd like to leave, I enjoy hearing from you and would love to communicate with you in the comments to hear how the energies are landing for you. And if you happen to have a friend who you think will enjoy this podcast, please do share it with them. I'm back every Monday with your weekly overview on my Substack account at courtneyingham.substack.com.